Hey, Adam here, back again with the 27th weekly Greater Brisbane update for 2025 on the Brisbane Channel. There's updates that will affect you no matter which local government area you live in, as well as some more specific ones for each of the 5 LGAs. Firstly, the new board of the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games Organising Committee has been announced. Based on recommendations from the 100-day review, the board has been reduced from 24 to 15 members and from 6 vice presidents to 2. In addition to the streamlined board, 4 initial advisory groups have been created, namely First Nations, chaired by Patrick Johnson, Athletes and Sport, chaired by Susie O'Neill, Councils, chaired by Brisbane Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner, and Commercial, chaired by Andrew Liveris. As for the 15 board members, here's the full list. While we're talking about Olympics, next is the possibility of the rowing events for the 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games being held in Greater Brisbane after all, although there may be quite a battle before it becomes a reality. You'd likely know that the state government's selection of location is Rockhampton's Fitzroy River, despite the 100-day review recommending the event be held in Penrith near Sydney, where the events were held for the 2000 Sydney Olympics, and other rowing bodies recommending Lake Kowongba, which is in the Moreton Bay LGA. For the Fitzroy River, besides the crocodiles, the main issue that international rowing bodies have with the location is that to meet international requirements as a rowing venue, there must be no current. But the Fitzroy River has a current, being a river and all. However, data from Queensland Government's water monitoring system shows historical average streamflow rates in the Upper Fitzroy River during winter months, when the Summer Olympics would be held, is well below World Rowing's accepted rate for Olympic regattas. And State Premier David Crisafulli is adamant that Rockhampton will be the home of the rowing events. Still, the Lake Kowongba Flatwater Centre Coalition, which includes former Rowing Queensland chairman Richard Patterson, argue that the lake presents much better legacy potential, being close to Brisbane and sitting within one of the fastest growing urban growth corridors in Australia. They point to the logistical advantage of being much closer to other games venues, which would also remove the need to construct a separate athletes' village. Whichever venue is finally approved will first have to be signed off on by World Rowing, and World Rowing's president Jean-Christophe Rolland was one of 12 members of rowing and paddle organisations to back further investigation of Lake Kowongba as the Olympic venue. But that's still years off, so let's get to a more immediate issue here in Brisbane. This week, 4 Greater Brisbane hospitals, the Royal Brisbane and Women's, Prince Charles, Redcliffe and Caboolture hospitals, all paused Category 2 and 3 elective surgeries for 48 hours to free up beds for emergency patients as flu and COVID cases have spiked significantly. It's not uncommon for cases to rise in winter months, but health bodies point to a drop in the number of people being vaccinated this year. Services returned to normal from 12 p.m. on Friday. With over 3,000 individuals and families applying for disability parking permits statewide each month, the Queensland Government has made the permits free of charge from the 1st of July. But in addition to that, later in the year, people will be able to obtain up to 3 permits. That's so that families don't have to transfer permits between cars, particularly those that have children with a disability. The permits formerly cost just under $20 each. While we're updating on changes at a state level that affect people in Greater Brisbane, this week the Minister for Transport and Main Roads has announced a round table which will involve bus operators, unions, drivers and other key stakeholders to formulate solutions to the increasing incidence of attacks on bus drivers. Some of the topics they'll discuss include facilities available to drivers, safety screens and barriers, general safety issues, as well as potential changes to legislation. If you'd like to promote your business on the Brisbane Channel, shoot me an email at this address and we'll talk. About 83% of viewers are living in Greater Brisbane and another 10% or so are considering moving here. So if you're looking for a very targeted audience, this might be exactly what you're looking for. The slots are pretty limited, with just 1 or 2 videos out a week, along with some long-term partners who have spots booked for a while. So the sooner you get in touch, the better chance you'll have of us being able to slot you in. assuming you have something really great to offer viewers. And while we're talking about local enterprises, innovators Australis Aircraft, who are working on developing hydrogen-powered planes, have secured a major deal with two Japanese universities, Akita University and Akita Prefectural University, to collaborate in the development of aircraft propulsion systems, workforce training, and joint research. Australis aim to play a role in bringing the aviation industry closer to zero emissions. I'm thinking their work could make for something interesting to explore in a video on the channel. If you find value in these updates, please give the video a thumbs up. It's a simple thing, but it really helps the channel reach a broader audience. Also, you can support the work that goes into making these videos by buying me a coffee, or you can become a channel member to get access to extra benefits such as extra content, early releases, and coming very soon, some special discounts with local businesses. Thanks to the members who have supported the channel so far, and also everyone who has bought me coffees. Okay, let's jump to the LGA specific updates, starting in Brisbane, where a rugby test match 12 years in the making saw a sellout crowd of 40,000 fans in Brisbane to watch the British and Irish Lions play the Wallabies. Brisbane City Council suspended part of the testing of the new tunnel under Adelaide Street to open up the busway to Roma Street to help with the hordes descending on Suncorp Stadium on Saturday night. The tour is expected to pump $55 million into the local economy, with hotels expected to reach 94% occupancy rates in Brisbane over the weekend. I'm filming this on Saturday morning, so I can't tell you the results, but if it's your thing, you'd know them before this video goes live anyway. On to Ipswich, where residents may come across a fleet of buggies. Over to Ipswich, where residents may come across a fleet of little buggies that are surveying the city's footpaths to assess their condition. It's expected the vehicles will assess over 300 kilometres of footpaths across Ipswich over the next 5 weeks. The council says that the assessment will help council better manage the footpath network and guide future maintenance and capital works planning and scheduling. In Redland, residents in parts of Capalaba have been experiencing issues with their water supply for up to 4 years and may finally see the issues solved. Some had the water suddenly stop for around 30 seconds multiple times each day, and many had consistently low water pressure. Previously, the issues were treated as isolated cases by council, until Redland City Councillor Jason Colley did a letterbox drop to some 400 properties asking if they were experiencing problems. It quickly became clear that it was happening across a wider area, which prompted further investigation and liaising with SEQ Water. And the issue does appear to affect both SEQ Water and Redland's water networks. With many of the pipes that need to be accessed to identify and resolve the issue running beneath roads, it will be a complex endeavour to get to the bottom of the issue, and will require traffic control arrangements to be in place. Investigation work under School Road was undertaken on Friday, and we'll keep you in the loop as the investigation progresses. Also making news in Redland is progress announced for a new multi-level car park and retail precinct at Wynham Creek, with construction expected to begin mid-next year. The area is a hub where residents of the islands arrive and depart the mainland. Community consultation highlighted the need for grocery, retail and medical services in the area rather than simply more parking, as well as better access to public transport. The resulting development will combine a state-owned multi-level car park with around 2,100 spaces with a council-delivered retail precinct with an additional 240 car spaces. The Brisbane Channel recently spoke with the Mayor of Redland, Joss Mitchell, and her enthusiasm for the project was undeniable.
The Wynham Creek project is a very important project for the southern end of our city, and as I said, we've got 6 residential islands and 5 of them are placed towards the southern end of the city. So we have a large island population. The Wynham Creek project is a real game changer for us in terms of parking for island residents and visitors as our population grows. And at the moment, there's a real need for this project to get off the ground and go ahead. So I'm very excited to see this one progress, and we're currently waiting for final state government announcement on how this is placed. But the partner, Consolidated Property Group, is working on plans for the multi-storey car park and the commercial precinct. And that commercial precinct is going to have cafes and restaurants and services for mainland residents and also those island communities. So this one is a very important project for our local government area as well.
Up in Moreton Bay, the city has received funding for a number of projects as part of the $30 million Resilient Rivers SEQ program, which will revitalise the health and resilience of waterways and wetlands in Moreton Bay ahead of the 2032 Games. This includes the Caboolture River Riparian Rehabilitation and Caboolture Arboretum Riparian Rehabilitation projects, which will restore vegetation and stabilise areas experiencing bank erosion. The result will be a reduction of soil entering Moreton Bay, protecting ecosystems that support fish nurseries, dugongs and turtles. Other works to be conducted include reconnecting 60 kilometres of waterways to improve movement of fish, planting 30,000 trees around Cabbage Tree Creek to improve water quality, reduce erosion and boost habitat for species including reptiles, woodland birds, koala and platypus, and adding over 3,000 plants at Freshwater Reserve to improve water quality, biodiversity and flood resilience. In Logan Art Gallery celebrated its 30th anniversary and projected artworks from its collection onto the gallery walls over 2 nights last week. Just over a week ago, I drew the winners of 2 separate movie ticket giveaways. Unfortunately, I haven't heard from a couple of winners to be able to notify the promoter. If you entered the draw, please check your DMs on Instagram. If I haven't heard from all winners by midday on Tuesday, I'll draw new winners for the remaining tickets. So if you entered and didn't win, there's hope yet. I'm not really sure what video to recommend you watch next, so I'll leave it in the lap of the YouTube algorithm gods. Hopefully this one is something you'll want to watch, and I'll see you there or in the next video.